Hey friends, it's Laura at Book Bubbler here. Welcome to another Friday Reads. It's been an okay week. Thank you so much for all the birthday wishes. You all are so nice to me. Thank you. My birthday was a nice day. I talked to you guys in the morning and I ordered DoorDash. It was so expensive. Well, expensive for me. I ordered DoorDash for some Maggiano's, which is an Italian restaurant chain, for those of you who don't know. That's a little expensive, very expensive for me. So I got a giant salad and a wedge of chocolate cake, and then I ordered a chicken dish for later and a flatbread. It was like way too much food. I barely finished the salad for lunch and I had half of the piece of cake for dinner. But it was a nice day. I just sort of putzed around and had some phone calls. It was lovely. And I finished a book, so I'll talk about that in a second. But it was a nice day. This is 43 now, apparently, so that's what I got. Otherwise, I've been all right. I worked out this morning with a personal trainer again. I'm actually starting to sweat, which sounds like a really weird thing to say. However, my regular body temperature is 94 or 95 degrees. I'm all right. It's just the way that I am. So usually I just overheat. I've never been someone who sweats. This is so gross, sorry. Usually I just overheat, but now I'm starting to actually break a bit of a sweat, which is a massive relief, quite honestly. So yeah, I had a man say to me, boy, you look tired. I was coming up the steps, leaving the gym today. I was like, I am. Also, shut up. Of course I'm tired. I just worked out for an hour. Anyway, running some errands, had some clients, some challenging clients, some not challenging clients, you know, blah, blah, life. Okay, Song of the Week this week is one that just makes me happy. It's by BR549. They're a country kind of hillbilly-esque group. This is Humdinger. I saw them play outside of Green Bay somewhere in a small little country bar, I don't know, 15 years ago or something. It was such a fun show. It was just a great time. So I have fond memories of that show. I love their album. I think they just have one album, maybe two. I'm not sure. I don't think they're together anymore. Anyways, enjoy Humdinger. All right, so books that came in. I got 3 books for my birthday. So from my friend Jenna, I got a copy of The Hill We Climb by Amanda Gorman. Confession time here. When is it not here? I didn't hear her speak. I don't know what I was doing, but I missed her speech, and I have never read this. However, I know it is powerful and amazing, so I'm very glad to read this and have my own little, like, fancy, beautiful edition. And then my friend Michelle bought me The Lost Art of Reading Nature's Signs. Use outdoor clues to find your way, predict the weather, locate water, track animals, and other forgotten skills by Tristan Gooley. Apparently he's written quite a few other books on the same sort of subject. And this is like a pretty dense book. I mean, it's tiny print and it's over 400 pages of stuff. So I'm super excited to do this in chunks and see what I can learn or refresh myself with, depending on what I've forgotten from when I was a kid. And this is a book, so I'm counting it, but it's more like a workbook. It's pretty simple lettering. Modern Calligraphy and Hand Lettering for Beginners by Whitney Farnsworth. I hope I do okay with this. I almost bought this for myself like a ding-dong last week. I thought, oh, it's your birthday, you never know. So I'm really excited to have this one and see how poorly I can do at calligraphy. Not intentionally poorly. I'll be putting in effort, but it will still look like some poor child did this. Anyway, all right, let's talk about the one book that I managed to read this week. Well, okay, technically 2, because I did read Blotto, Botany over the weekend. If you watched my extremely long vlog for Mid-Month Book Bash that posted on Tuesday. Sorry about that, by the way. I didn't think it was that long, and then I clipped it all together and I thought, oh dang, no, it is long. Anyway, so I read Blotto, Botany. That was for Springathon, technically. I think I counted it towards forage because you forage for stuff. But the only like book that I read this week is The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. Okay, this is essentially a rom-com in book form. It's about 400 pages. And I really like Christina Lauren. I love their writing. They have been a go-to fun author for me for since they started publishing, really. I haven't read them yet, but the first couple of books they wrote were YA, kind of spooky. I have them, but I haven't read those yet. But their Beautiful Bastard series, I've read all of. That's when I first got introduced to them. And then there's 2 other quartets, I think, and like one of them is like a dirty, sexy something, I don't know. And one is like international people. And then lately they have done a bunch of these standalones. So the premise behind this one is that Olive, whose twin sister is getting married at the start of the book, she is wearing this hideous dress and she's forced to interact with someone who will be essentially her new brother-in-law. It's her sister's fiance's brother. He's always hated her. She always thought that he hated her, and he's like always making jokes, she thinks, about what she's eating or her weight or whatever. And at the wedding reception, everyone gets sick except for Olive, and then Ethan, of course, the man she hates. And because the bride is extremely frugal, she won everything in a contest for the wedding, including the honeymoon. They can't reschedule or change anything, so Olive is forced to go on the honeymoon with the man that she hates. And it just kind of devolves from there. She just gets hired at the airport as they're flying out for the trip or whatever. She gets hired at her dream job, at her dream company, and then the boss of that company is at the same hotel as her, celebrating his anniversary. Like, the lie piles up, and so this made me laugh out loud genuinely really often. I didn't think it would. Usually I kind of smile or chuckle, but there were lots of like Harry Potter jokes. There were lots of pop culture jokes in general, just casually thrown in, not like ba-dum-bum, like setups. And I just enjoyed the heck out of this. I read the last 3 quarters on my birthday and really had a good time. I will say, for those of you who haven't read a lot of their other stuff, their newer stuff seems to be way less dirty. Their earlier stuff is pretty dirty. I don't care. I read anything. It's fine to me. But just as a heads up, if you start reading the Beautiful Bastard series and you're expecting just some like hot makeout scenes, which is what is in here, or like the mention of like genitalia or something, it's like fade to black pretty much in here. But the other stuff is not. So just be prepared in case. But I just enjoyed the heck out of this. No, it's not high literature, but I don't care. It was a lot of fun. So that's all I got. I know. Coming up, I'm seeing some of my friends this weekend. I haven't seen them in a long time. We're getting together because, well, for my birthday, and then also one of them just adopted 2 wiener dog puppies. So I get to see puppies this weekend. And yeah, just work otherwise. Decluttering my house, you know, the usual. That's about it. So I hope you're all doing well and staying safe, taking care, reading something totally fabulous. And I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye.